Having a school resource officer at the school is a critical way that we can keep our schools safe. The consequences of the new laws, it is actually pushing our school resource officers out of the districts. Our school officials and law enforcement officers warned that this would potentially happen if this law was not changed. So we stand before you this morning after asking Governor Walz for a special session to address just this issue. We stand before you with concerns and a fix, allowing our school resource officers to use the de-escalation tools that they are trained in.
This is particularly true when our SROs and contracted officers are called upon by school staff when a situation has escalated to a point educators can no longer manage or handle it. The SRO comes with a skill set and tools as a licensed peace officer the educators do not have. I'm not going to tell a teacher how to teach algebra. I'm going to count on them to have their skill sets and tools and to teach algebra. Our SROs have to be counted on for their skill sets and tools as well, particularly in times of crisis. This legislation has, in essence, had a reverse effect, okay? You can't physically intervene now until it's potentially too late. And if you don't intervene soon enough as a police officer, you could be liable. But if you intervene too soon, you could be liable under this statute. It creates a no-win situation in law enforcement. But by taking that out and saying the only time force is acceptable is when there is a threat of bodily harm or death, okay? There's a lot of situations that come up where the threat of bodily harm or death may not be immediate, but they're an escalating situation. Some examples of that may be, let's say there's a student who's been expelled who's trespassing, or at a football game. We may have 3, 4, 5, 6 officers working at a football game. We have students that are being disorderly, maybe throwing bottles out on the field, causing a ruckus. Generally, what we will try to do is get them to leave or trespass them from the school property. We cannot do that physically. We actually would have to call officers in off the street who are governed by other rules in this statute to manage that situation then. So the cops are calling the cops.
I think what happened is, and it may have been an honest mistake, I don't know, is it didn't go through the appropriate process that would have vetted it, caught this, and allowed us to further examine it, potentially head off or correct it before it became law, and now we're dealing with the second and third order effects. This is not a surprise. This issue was raised back in February. It's public record. If you go back and look at that video, you will hear me cite the very specific lines in which I raised concern politics. Minnesotans expect us to govern responsibly. Moms and dads count on us to safeguard their children. The confusion surrounding this law is causing a growing number of school resource officers to be pulled out of schools across our state, leaving students and staff vulnerable in cases of emergency. I'm joining others in calling on the governor to bring Republicans and Democrats together for a special session before school starts so that we can fix this issue, keep our SROs, and ensure our kids are safe. The urgency is real. It's unacceptable to parents that the legislature would wait 6 or more months to address this immediate concern. There's no time to spare when it comes to the safety of our kids. Let's show some bipartisanship and put our kids first.